what I see is a trend to take that into an extreme, and let me frame it. Especially in places like Silicon Valley, we are seeing all these CEOs, multi-million people with tons of money that actually they are proud of showing up to everybody how much they suffer by taking cold showers early in the morning, by starving for long periods of time, by isolating themselves from any human contact for several days. So why this virtue of showing suffering to other people?
No, you're right. That is an extreme. And in fact, not only it's an extreme, but it's really not Stoicism, even though these people claim that they're doing Stoicism. I refer to it as Stoicism with a dollar sign, which is clearly not the original thing. So first of all, yes, this is happening, but again, it's not typical just of Stoicism, right? There's the Buddhism has a similar problem with mindfulness, with this notion that mindfulness is now becoming a highly marketable thing that can solve every problem you can imagine. So Buddhism's got that problem. Christianity's got a similar problem. There's such a thing as called as the prosperity gospels, where people use the gospels in order to become wealthy and make money. Look, any good idea can be turned into a really bad one if you either misunderstand it or you use it for purposes that it was not designed for, right? In the specific case of Silicon Valley Stoicism sort of approach, here's what the problem is. So Stoicism is both a philosophy of life and a set of techniques. Okay? As a philosophy of life, it tells you that you should be living, as I said earlier, according to nature, meaning using your mind in order, your reasoning abilities in order to improve social living, which means life for others mostly. But it's also a set of techniques. There are things like, subjecting yourself to mild self-deprivation exercises in order to, which are meant, for instance, fasting or the cold showers and that sort of stuff. But those are meant as exercises in thankfulness. Those are meant to remind you that you should be thankful of the fact that you have hot water whenever you want, or that you should be thankful that you have a meal every time that you have it, that you want it, and so on and so forth. So those are techniques. Journaling, writing down your thoughts into a journal every day with specific questions in mind about how did you behave today in terms of the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism. Those are techniques. Now, the techniques can be decoupled from the philosophy. And they can be decoupled in a good way or in a not so good way. So I mentioned cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy does use a number of techniques that were developed by the Stoics, but it's not a philosophy of life. You don't go to therapy because you say, well, I want to know how to live my life. You go to therapy because you have a specific problem. You have a particular phobia, or you suffer from depression, or whatever it is, right? Those techniques are useful. They're efficacious for those specific problems, but you're not practicing a philosophy, you're just doing therapy. So the problem with the Silicon Valley sort of Stoicism is that they focus on the techniques, and then they claim that that's the Stoic philosophy. But it isn't, because the Stoics were very clear about the fact that a lot of wealth is actually not a good thing. Because first of all, it distracts you from other things. If your major goal in life is to become wealthy, you're already missing the boat as far as the Stoics are concerned. Your major goal in life should be to be helpful to the human cosmopolis, as they call it, to the human sort of general society. So those two are at odds already. And so if your goal is to become wealthy or rich or famous or powerful or whatever it is, you're really missing the point. That's not what Stoicism is about. I try to educate these people to my best, and sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't. That's one of the things that is not under your control, and so you just accept it for what it is.